There are many ways in which people experience change. Cultural exposure is one of the primary reasons we in America are known as the melting pot. Good evening. My name is Jasmine Robertson, and today I'll be discussing with you the Stations of the Cross, or as some people know it, the Way of the Cross. This is a religious ceremony that is done in the Roman Catholic religion, and it is basically seen as the death of Jesus and how Jesus led up to his death. I myself identify as Baptist, so this was a cultural exposure to me to learn about something that I had never heard of before. To begin, I will be discussing the Stations of the Cross. I will define what they are, and I will also tell where they are found at inside of the Bible. In the Bible, the New Testament explains how the death of Jesus occurred through 4 different Gospels. These 4 Gospels include Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. There are 4 of them because there are basically 4 different stories that are being told from 4 different perceptions, because not every story is told through the eyes of the same person in the exact same way. So each 4 of these Gospels were taken together, and they basically, parts were pulled from each of them to bring together one generalization of how Jesus's death occurred. The first station in the 12 stations of the cross is Jesus is sentenced to death. The second stage is when Jesus bears the cross, which means he just accepts the cross. The third stage is when Jesus falls for the first time, and Jesus falls for a total of 3 times. And this is basically seen as a foreshadow of how Jesus was able to rise on the 3rd day. And some people see it as his 3rd fall, he was able to rise from that. The 4th station of the cross is when Jesus meets his mom. The 5th station is when Siren and Simon helped Jesus to bear his cross. The 6th station of the cross is when Jesus' face is washed by Veronica. And the 7th stage of the cross is when Jesus falls for the 2nd time. The 8th stage of the cross is when Jesus meets the women of Jerusalem, and they basically weep and they cry for him. The 9th stage of the cross is when Jesus falls for his 3rd and final time. And the 10th stage of the cross is when Jesus is stripped from all his garments, his clothes, everything. The 11th stage of the cross is when Jesus is nailed to the actual cross itself. And the 12th stage of the cross, which is where I ended, is where Jesus died. And in the ceremony, it ended there for us because for some people see it as when Jesus died, that's the end of that particular ceremony taking part. And then some people see the ending as when Jesus was actually placed inside of the tomb. So it can either be said as the 12 stations or the 14 stations. So to continue, after Jesus died, which is the 12th station, the 13th station is when Jesus' dead body is taken down from the cross. And the 14th station is when Jesus is placed inside of the actual tomb. And those are all 14 stages. And we learn from then that Jesus goes on to rise from the tomb, which is why we have the holiday of Easter. So this was exciting for me to learn about because I had never heard about it. And I used myself as a source for this research because I have went to a ceremony for the Stations of the Cross, and there I just seen how they had the pictures posted against the chapel wall, and I learned that it was just important for the Roman Catholics, and the Pope explained how this was something that they take part in very frequently and just leading up to Easter as part of their celebration. So another one of the sources that I used to go through each of the 12 stages and make sure that I understood them was the Britannica. And the third source that I used was the Bible itself to learn about the 4 Gospels and how each of these Gospels is a story told through 4 different people. And that was openbible.info. So with these 3 sources and just this information, It helped me to just gain insight about a culture that I didn't really know much about. I do know about Christianity, but being that Roman Catholic and Baptist are two different perspectives of Christianity, I was exposed to the Roman Catholic side, which I had never known of or heard just growing up, or even still today, I'm still learning about it. So, yeah, this was very interesting to me. So, I hope you enjoyed this presentation and thank you for watching.